Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you already know, this is your U.S. General 5-drawer tool cart with side tray and deep compartment. Today is Wednesday, as you can see. We just now making it back over to the storage unit, getting back to it, getting busy. All right. Just received a little mail call from ATMEX this morning. All right, so I want to get out a little quick package, take a good look at that, get a visual and inspect the items real quick. And then we're going to jump into the tool topic of the day. In this particular video is going to be credited towards another fellow YouTuber and YouTube creator that has his own channel. Good fellow by the name of Ed, the old tech guy. So I ain't going to hold you up too much more longer in the introductory of things. But as I always state, as usual, I always keep my signature lingering somewhere in the background. My Dunkin' Donuts coffee. You already know. Okay? So pretty much I'm about to get my box cutters out, get this item to the top of the tool cart, and we're going to dive right in. So walk with me. Let's get it. As I got my little item out at the top of the tool cart, and before I, open up the package, in today's discussion, we're going to take a look at quite a few different tools. Okay, a different variety of selection between some tool truck quality brand equipment to some least expensive, budget friendly equipment. All right, so we're going to dive into this package real quick, see what just came in, and we're going to get to it. So walk with me. Let's get it. Okay, coming over from ATMEX, and what you can see here, your American Precious Metals Exchange. All right, I just received a 2-ounce Troy Silver Queen's Beast. This is the Silver Greyhound, to give you a more clearer visual. This is the 2021. This is the most newest edition here. So this is the Queen Beast. This is 9.49 pure silver. Okay. Your 221 Great Britain 2-ounce Silver Queen's Beast. All right. The second up that just came in, this is also 2 ounces pure fine silver. Okay. This is your Canadian Kraken. It's very thick. Both coins are very thick, as you can see. Two-ounce silver Creatures of North Kraken. Okay. So these, there's 2 extra additions to the stack. This is for that stacking community out there. All right. So now we're going to move along and we're going to dive into the tool conversation of the day. Let's get it. All right. Now that I have quite a few items out at the top of the tool cart, like I said, there is going to be a lot that I'm going to cover in this particular video, and this video is going to be credited to Ed, the old tech guy. Later on in the video, I will get to explaining for what reason and why I basically shooting this particular content at the prior moment. But real briefly and real quick, I'm just going to give you a little rundown and description as far as what we're looking at sitting here at the top of the tool cart. Okay. And the discussion in today's topic is going to be based upon some usage and some different variations in different size sockets as far as Torx and the different type of Torx that are used in the field and things like that of that nature. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here at the top. And as you can see, this is a 10-piece snap-on set. The part number is 210EFTXL. Okay. And Your specs and dimensions are here. The set contains quarter-inch drive, N3/8 drive, T8, T10, T15, T20, T25, T27, T30, T40, T45, and T50 Torx, as you can see here. Okay. Moving along, this is a different type of Torx set, which is your hex Torx set bit. And this is the ASCE set and the metric set. The part number for this particular item is 215EFAPK. Okay, each individual set actually has its own description item number, but this is the particular item number that is placed on this particular package due to the fact that this is a BOGO deal, a buy one get one, as you can see here. Okay. Which you're taking a look back here, these are your Snap-on Plus. If I can get things to focus in, this is your 11-piece combination Torx Plus socket set. And as you can see, this is also quarter-inch to 3/8 drive, T8 to T25, and T27 to T55. When it comes to this particular set, I would suggest, for individuals who either have a tool truck dealer, or if you do not have a tool truck dealer and you unfortunately you have to purchase from corporate and things like that, I want you to be aware that this is a 11-piece set, but I believe that there's a set out there that has one less unit than this particular set, and it's more expensive, and they're basically all Snap-on Pluses. So when purchasing, do your research. In a past video, I did have the particular set and item number. If I have to go back to it, I'll do it later on when I have time, and put it in the description so that individuals don't get caught with that. You always want to get the best bang for your buck, and you don't want to get cut short with one less item and paying more money than a set that you can get with basically more units in it. Okay. As you're taking a look at here, okay, these are your ball hex socket set here, and the part number is 208EFTABY. Okay, this is an 8-piece SAE ball hex socket set, and you can see the specs here is quarter-inch and 3/8 drive from 1/8 to 3/16, 7/32 seconds to 3/8. What you're taking a look at here, this is your triple square set, and the part number is TSS7 kit. And as you see, this is a 7-piece metric triple square bit socket set. Okay, that comes with your more bigger sizes ranging from 6mm all the way to 18mm. As you can see, it skips 15 and it skips 13, just as well as it skips 11, and it also skips a 9 and 7. Okay, what you're taking a look at back here, okay, this is another type of Torx, but these are what you call your E-Torx set. Okay, part number is 213AFLEY. Okay, this also shows quarter-inch drive, 3/8 drive, and half-inch drive from E4, E8, E10, E11, E12, E14, E16, E18, E20, and E24. The E represents that they're inverted. Okay, Torx. Moving along, okay, in a different situation, these are what you are to know as your pipe plug sockets. Okay, there is a certain amount of sockets that are in somewhat form of a square hex. They're not hex-like, but they're in a form of a square. And in this particular set, what you have is your male and female pipe plug sets. Okay, moving along, this is a different type of Torx. These are what are considered to be your stubby Torx, which you have in ASAE and metric. At the prior moment, I pulled out a lot, and I technically didn't get the metric set out, but just to have this set out so that you can get the understanding, between the lengths, and with these being a stubby. Okay, back here, what you are taking a look at, these are your Torx 9-piece soft grip Torx screwdriver set, and the part number is SGTX90BR, ranging from T8 to T45. Okay, so just to give you a little visual of that, once I finish with the rundown, I will get certain things out. Okay, also, what you're taking a look at here is your Milwaukee Torx precision screwdriver set. This is not mainly more, used in the automotive service field, but there is one particular Torx in here that is applied when it comes to, if you're in a shop where that you do like wheel service, and you service things like TPMS sensors, okay, because certain TPMS sensors have particular retaining screw. Some of the valves are disassembled from the mechanical part of the TPMS sensor, which requires sometimes a Torx precision driver. All right. So moving along to some of the least expensive brands. Okay, each of these sets here are Craftsman's. Okay, as you can see. So this is what we're basically going to take a look at today. All right, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more further in the video for what reason why we're looking at them. Let's get it. Okay, first and foremost, now that I have things a little bit more spread out, okay, where I can demonstrate a little bit more better. All right, the first thing that I would like to state, in this particular video, that you have a lot of different tools that look the same, especially when it comes to an individual who is not mechanically inclined, and technically they don't have too much awareness or too much knowledge upon a lot of different tools that are out there. Okay, the first thing that I want to explain when it comes to this particular video right here, when it comes to the tool truck brand of Snap-on, all right, and when they design and they create some of their Torx bits, there are different metals that are used amongst 3 different sets, I believe. Okay, when you take a look here at the triple squares, all right, the triple squares metal is a certain texture. All right, when it comes to Snap-on, they make their design in 3 different type metals, I believe. In some of the Torx, not all Torx are created equal. Okay, as you can see towards this one particular end, this Torx is a tamper-proof Torx, but all the rest of the denominations of Torx sockets that are in here are regular standards, where that you don't see a hole at the top. Okay, the difference between the metals, okay, as you can see towards these sets of the Craftsman's, which you can see is more of a black oxide. It has more of an industrial finish, okay, testically compared to a set that's like this, or the ball hexes that you see here, or even the Torx pluses. Each 3 are the same type of metals. Okay, when you take a look at these hex that are back here, the metal to these sockets are different amongst the other 2. Okay, the same thing goes for some of their pneumatic air hammer bits that they put out nowadays. Also, they considered the gold metal to be more durable and more stronger than some of the black oxide pneumatic hammer bits. So the same principles is applied, just as well as when I state that when you take a look at tools, not all tools is created. So as you can see, I have a 14 millimeter Tecton impact socket, and I also have a 14 millimeter chrome socket. Both sockets are both chrome vanadium, okay? But the difference between the 2 is that the Tecton is made with a more softer metal that is designed to absorb the impact. Chrome sockets are not designed to withstand and for those specifications of impacting. All right, anytime you run into a situation where you don't have an impact socket, because it does happen, not all the time an individual may necessarily have an impact socket, but it's not recommended that you necessarily use a chrome socket because it can become dangerous. Okay, it's not recommended, but it does happen in some instances. All right, so this is some of the differences amongst some of the metals. Okay, so you would know that when using some of these metals, these would be a whole lot much more stronger than some others. Okay, so depending upon what you are removing when it comes to a torque fastener, a lot of times you want to be careful. All right, because it's easy to round off torque fasteners. If you feel a little uncomfortable, okay, and a little uneasy with removing something, and you feel that you're basically going to round something off or you're going to strip something off, and my suggestion, okay, this is why I have out a set like this, because I would prefer to go to a set like this and remove a fastener manually rather than using an impact. Sometimes using an impact is not always good to use on certain particular torque fasteners on many different vehicles and some of their underbody coverings and shells like that. You have a lot of different torque measurement fasteners. Okay, so in a set like this, these are a least expensive brand. Between these two, everything else is mainly more all tool truck quality brand equipment. All right, there is a big difference when it comes to price ranges and things like that of one's budget. If you technically do not work with tools on a professional level, or you just you use them every now and then for home use, I would suggest that you pick up sets like these that are more affordable, more reasonable, and things like that. Okay, because some of this other equipment that you see demonstrated and is sitting towards the left hand side of the cart can become quite expensive, each individual item. Just so to say, like a set like a Talk Plus, these are very expensive, just as well as triple squares are very expensive. Okay, and you don't technically get many units to each of these snap-on sets, which price range you can basically pick up 3 of these sets for the price of one of each individual set that you see laying towards that end and towards that side. Okay, this video is credited to a good fellow by the name of Ed, the old tech guy, because I did notice he put out a video where he was using a particular torque bit on an impact driver to remove a fastener from another tool. And in the process, in that video, there was an error made where the bit walked on him a little bit, and it punctured his hand. So it's always safety first. So in situations like that, I don't suggest using an impact. At times in the field, there's plenty of occasions where that technicians have to go to a bench and disassemble something at a bench. Okay, but if you can move with less error with using an impact, I suggest that you take your time and move a little bit more slower. Sometimes we got time working against us, but in the same token, you don't want to work backwards. Okay, so in some of those instances, I suggest to just go to it manually instead of taking the risk of stripping something out and rounding something off, because nobody doesn't have time to be waiting around for parts. And most technicians, they know what it is. All right, when it comes to a set like this, once again, this is the Milwaukee Precision Torque set, and as you can see here, they do have their precision torques from here to this side. Some of these are not used in automotive field. You would more enough use these for electronics and things like that, but this particular measurement here is used on TPMS sensors. So this is for what reason why I technically had this particular set right here. You can always go out and buy, one particular tool, but I also rather have a whole complete set so that if I run into other situations, I do actually have the proper equipment, to assess a job and get a job completed. I'd rather have it and not get stuck without it when a situation technically presents itself. All right. All right, so for individuals who do not wrench professionally, like I said, as you can see here with these two sets by Craftsman, these are budget friendly. There's technically nothing wrong with this set right here. Um, this is a softer metal. Like I said, the black oxide finish when it comes to Torx, all right, like I was stating about the same principle between an impact socket and a chrome socket. But inside my tool cart, I do use some of these particular Craftsman Torque sockets. I have been using them for quite some time. These two sets that you see here is actually, backups and things like that, just in case I ever run into a situation, where I shear something off or I break something. I'd rather remodify, a set like this testically compared to remodifying, a more expensive brand or having to warranty something out and waiting for the tool truck dealer to come around in order for them to get to it. Okay, but in sets like this, that are more fairly cheaper, that comes with a different variety and assortment. Okay, which you can see here, it comes with your hex, comes with your regular Torx, it comes with your Phillips. All right, as you can see, and the same thing with a set like this, which also has your long Torx just as well as your ball hex sockets. It also comes with extensions, universal joints, and swivel. Okay, you have different denominational size extensions and things like that. Like I said, between both of these sets, you can basically get both of these sets and still have a little bit of money left over if you were looking at purchasing something of any of these particular items that you are basically taking a look at over here. All right. All right, so the thing to keep in mind is, like I was stating, there is three different type of metals, and as you can see within this set, um, there is two different metals. The metric 7-piece hex bit socket set has a different metal, okay, compared to the SAE set, okay. As you can see more closer, it shows more of that gray oxide finish, like how I was demonstrating and showing with some of the Torque Pluses and the triple squares. All right. But when you take a look at the metric, you can see that they have more of a gold finish. So once again, this is the same thing that is applied to some of the pneumatic air hammer bits that Snap-on distributes nowadays, whether on a tool truck or, depending upon, if you have a deal or whether, you purchase things from corporate and things like that. I have a corporate account, but I don't use a corporate account because I technically have a Snap-on dealer. All right. Okay, so in my suggestion, like I was stating, when using an impact, okay, sometimes impact or whether it's just a drill in general, sometimes depending upon how torquey the gun may be, at times you may have an issue with the bit walking on you a little bit, in situations like that where it requires